Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I guess I'm only allowed 30 minutes to do a broadcast here, so that's fine. Uh, we do 2 hour show anyway, so I might as well just do an hour. Like I was saying, some investigations that'll be coming up soon. Hopefully, I'm hoping next Friday, not this coming Friday, but the following Friday, we're going to be checking out a high school. Uh, and like I was going to say before I got knocked off, uh, boy, I'll tell you, you couldn't have a better. Boy, kitty, get out! Well, my kitty just eating off the stove about it. Whooped his little butt. I couldn't have a better group of people to work with in investigations. Uh, with Frank and Jeanette, and Ken, and Paul and Nick and Kathy. Um, just you couldn't have a better group. I mean, they take this to a seriousness of the highest standard, and nobody goes into this. Nobody goes into this as a chief. Everyone goes in as their own person, but yet works together. And I get a lot of people that come to me and say, "Yeah, you get a great group, and your investigators." They're not my investigators. We're a team. We work together. I work with Nick. I work with Frank. I work with Ken. Ken works with me. Ken works with Paul. Ken works with Jeanette. Jeanette works with me and Kathy. Kathy works with Jeanette. We work together. There's no leader. I might do a little more on the side because I have the time to do it. These other people work. They have things to do. They've got they're busy people, and I have the opportunity to be able to take control of certain things and do it. But in no mean do I ever think that I run Midnight Paranormal Society, because I don't. We all run it together, and we all hurt together. We all get scratched together. If one person's feeling the pain, we all feel the pain, because we don't want to see anybody get hurt. We're a community. We're a family, and it's just the way it's got to be. It's the way it is. It doesn't even have to be that way. It's the way we want it to be. Some people say there's no structure with us, but there is, because we know what needs to be done when we do it. And any good paranormal group that works together will understand that. You can't have one or two guys go in and want to be, the head soldier and be telling everyone how to do things, because then nothing gets done. If one person walks in and says, "I got this cam," the other person walks in and says, "Well, I have this DVR," and the other person walks in and says, "I've got the cable," what are you going to do with all that? You three are going to sit down, you're going to put it together, and you're going to check it and make sure it works. Then one person's going to go down. Another person we might not have the right radio, so another person will stand in the middle of the steps. The other person will be looking at a monitor, and one person yells up, the other one yells back, and so on. It's teamwork. You cannot be a good paranormal group without control and complete teamwork. It doesn't get done. Poor Ken, he does a lot. He's got a lot of equipment. He's got a lot of EVPs. He does a lot of camera work. But unfortunately, with his job, he can't go over all this stuff. So I'm honored to go and take his stuff for him, and I go through it, and then hopefully we can find some great stuff. Be it he just gave me 19,000 years of EVPs that I've got to go through. Oh my God, there's so much EVPs here. But you know what? That's teamwork, man. You got to step up. If you have the time, do it. You can't let it build up. Investigations. We work together. We talk together. We figure out where certain cameras got to go. We feel a place out. We work at it. We think about it, and then we do it. I don't stand around and say, "Okay, Ken, go put it over there, and Frank, go do this, and Jeanette, go do that. Kathy, you sit there and do." There's none of that. You can't do that. You got to work together. We all make the decisions together. And if you're planning on becoming a paranormal investigator and you want to put the group together, that's what you have to remember. If you can't go in as a group, if you can't go in feeling like a family, like you can trust the person that's either in front, behind, or inside of you, then you might as well just not do it at all. Because if you don't have the trust in the group that you're working with, then there's no reason to be there. Trust is probably like one of the biggest and most important things in a paranormal group. You have to trust that the recorders are going to be turned on correctly. You have to trust that the cameras are positioned correctly. And you got to trust that the guy's not, or the girl's not sitting out back smoking a cigarette and not doing anything. We all got to do it. We work together, and then when it's all set up and everything's ready to go, then you can go have your smoke like I do and Frank does. And that's when it's, once it's all done. And then you have to trust that when you're downstairs or upstairs doing work, the other group, part of the group's not downstairs making all kind of racket and jumping around and making noise to dilute our EVPs or to screw around with our cameras. We work together great. And when we do an investigation, I don't hear Ken yelling and screaming, oh, talk to me. And, you don't hear Frank running up and down the stairs. We kick. We relax. We try to keep together as a small group. Hey, you go in one room, you sit down, you ask your questions, you hope your flashlight goes on and off, you hope you catch a good EVP, and you move on. You go to another place. Start low, work your way up. If it's hot, you start up high, you work your way down. It's a good way of cooling yourself down. If it's cold, you find the coldest spot and you work your way up towards the warmest spot. That way by the end you're comfortable, and vice versa with the warm weather. You get the warmest part out of the way and you work your way to the basement. That way it's, by the time you're down there, it's cool, you're cooling yourself off. It's exactly what we did at Ashland or at Bobby Mackey's. Worked our way up and then worked our way down. Worked out perfect, because by the time it was 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock, we were in the basement just kicking, relaxing. It was nice and cool. Everybody was okay. There was no problems. Just some tips. A few tips. I know you probably heard it all before, but I'm gonna tell you, if you want to make it out there as a group, you gotta, it's 3 most important things. You have to be honest, you have to trust, and you have to just be a plain good investigator. And that's all there is, man. You just do your job and you do it well. You don't come out of there and fake the pictures or fake your EVPs and then expect people to believe it, because you know what, there's a lot of investigators in this world, and a lot of them been around the world a couple times and then down the street a couple times, and they know an EVP and they know the photos. So if you're trying and you're planning on becoming an investigator and you're planning on starting a group or whatever you're planning on doing, always remember that. Just because you think it's going to look good, others are going to know different. And believe me, I've seen my share of fake photos and I've heard my share of fake EVPs. And people send them to me all the time, and I look at them and I laugh and I say, yeah, okay, I found this one on a camera app. Next. So, yeah. No. Oh. Crazy stuff, man. I'll tell you. So I'm hoping we can get into this school next Friday. I'm hoping that we can catch some of the evidence that they explain to us is going on. They say that they're getting full apparitions walking around. They've got a little girl in one certain area. They've got a man walking down the stairs in another area. They have shadows constantly around. They have music playing. I guess they've heard a piano playing a few times. This would really be a really kick-ass investigation, because this is one that we can stay all night, work it out, get in there early. There's not going to be any school, so we can get there 7, 8 o'clock, get our cams and stuff set up. I want to position about 4 different cams in certain areas, have 6-hour recordings on each of them. That'll be great. Hopefully it'll be nice and quiet. We'll have the good warmth, so if we get an area where we're feeling some good cold spots, that'll be great. As Frank was once wise and said, it's hard to find a cold spot in a cold room. Anyways, I got my phone on. I don't know if anyone's listening to this actually live, but if you want to send me a message on my Facebook page or anywhere, and yeah, I'll get the message myself here. Or if you have any questions, and if you are here listening to me and you got any questions, you could ask me on Facebook. You can go to David Wismer on Facebook, and or you can go to Midnight Paranormal Society on Facebook, and you could ask me there. I don't know if this is actually live or not, but if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm actually smoking a cigarette and having a cup of coffee, so that's why you're hearing the heavy breathing and so on. Oh man, I can't believe this has been a long month, and I can't wait for this month to be over with. I hope everybody had a really safe St. Patrick's Day. Secondhand, we were, like I was saying at the parade, we were approached by a woman that said she owns a bar in Lawrence, Milwaukee, and I'm hoping that she gets a hold of us this week, because hopefully this Sunday or next Sunday, I'll do it on Easter. I don't give a shit. If she wants to do it on Easter, I'll do it on Easter. But she says that she's got a bar that the customer or the employees, they won't even go in the basement. They don't even want to go down there. They say they get down to a certain spot in the stairs, and it's just, they feel like somebody's either going to push them or someone's coming up at them. They had one person that they said went down those stairs and got downstairs and turned around, and someone was standing there with a clipboard. And I guess that employee quit. Never came back. So time will tell. Hopefully they'll get a hold of us and we can set up an investigation and get in there. I'm probably going to go try to figure out what bar it is. I live right around the corner anyways, so I might go over that area, just check the place out, get a feeling for it. Maybe I'll talk to a couple of investigators and say, hey, let's go have a drink and just go see what it is. Again, with our MPS bus tour, we're going to try and set the bus tour up around an MPS schooling. Now let me tell you what that is. Frank DiMartino has come up with an idea where he'd like to raise a little money for MPS. We're a non-profit organization, but yet sometimes we still need to pay for radio shows, and we need to pay for gas to get to investigations. So what we'd like to do is, once in a great while, we'll have some type of fundraiser. And what better way of doing it? I think the way Frank put it, I like it. He wants to do a training session. He wants to get people into an area, sit you down. We'd like to get all the equipment together, put the equipment out on tables. He would like to go over anything you need to learn. What's an EVP? What is paranormal stand for? What is poltergeist? What is a